Hey, what's up friends? You got Gypsy back here today with week 6 of the CPC. This week we are going up against Will, a friend of mine, cool dude with a pretty cool team. He's got stuff like Megalopony. He didn't actually bring it in this game, but he's got Megalopony. As you guys can see there, he's got Volcarona and Gengar, so a really nice offensive core of those three mons. And then he's got just a really fat defensive core to fall back on. Stuff like Skarm, Cresselia, Gastrodon, as you guys can see there. Electros is a fat monster, and he's got Miltank for cleric support. Yeah, just definitely a cool team overall. One of the bulkier teams around, and yeah, it's gonna be a pretty fun match. I've played Will once before it was the CPC like tournament thing, and we came out with a win there. But he's a good player. You know, he's had some very close losses, and he's definitely improving with every battle I watch of his. I'm impressed at his improvement for sure. I'm going to go over the team that I brought today, just a quick rundown, as you know, it is pretty important. I don't know you guys like that. So first up we have Assault Vest Arcanine, which is predominantly here to take on the Volcarona. It can always function as a secondary Gengar check if need be, but its main role is to check that Volcarona, which, as you guys can see by my team, Volcarona is a massive threat. Sets up Quiver Dances on stuff like Sylveon, particularly if it's fat and I'm not HP Rock. Sets up on Reuniclus. Kyurem can take it because it's a beast. But Volcarona, if it starts boosting, it's going to be a real threat to my team. Obviously, it's a fantastic check to my Mega Scizor. You know, I'm Mega, so I can't carry like Natural Power Rock, Natural Gift Rock. So that's something to watch out for. So Arcanine basically checks any variant. It's Flash Fire, meaning that like its Fire Blasts are just going to be powering up my Flare Blitzes. You know, I'm immune to them. With my investment, I can tank 2 plus 2 HP grounds. With my defense investment and the Assault Vest. I do also receive Wish support from Sylveon, which is really nice in maintaining Arcanine's health. If Volcarona, say, wants to switch in on my Sylveon within Hyper Voice, thinks it can get wild and start setting up as my Sylveon, I can just pass a Wish out into a potentially weakened Arcanine, heal it back up, and then bop him with Flare Blitz. Then we have my Mega Scizor, which is pretty standard this week. It's actually more of a defensive spread this week, mainly functioning as a pivot. You know, can tank hits from stuff like Gengar. I am Sparce, so I can tank hits from Gengar pretty well. I can knock him off. If he wants to burn me, that's fine, because this guy isn't really going to be doing too much damage. He's just mainly going for the U-turn. Like, the fact that Scizor forces stuff in like Skarmory and Volcarona purely by virtue of the fact that it could be a setup variant. I can grab momentum with U-turn and go into something like Kyurem, which, as you guys are going to see, Kyurem has just a great time versus the team. Or even something like Arcanine, if he wants to bring in Volcarona or a Skarm. So yeah, very nice sort of offensive pivot, but a very bulky mon that can take hits with ease from 5 out of 6 mons on his team. Next up we have Choice Banded Kyurem Black. Not too much to say about Kyurem, it's just completely ravages his team. As you guys can see, Skarmory is forced to check multiple members of my team, so Skarmory is not a banded Kyurem check anyway, as Fusion Bolt does 75 to like 86% or something like that. It's ridiculous. So yeah, Skarm isn't checking Kyurem, and as I said, it's forced to take on multiple mons on my team, so that's going to be pretty nice to wear down the Skarm and then take it home with Kyurem if we can pull that off. Next up we have Reuniclus, a pretty bulky Reuniclus. Nothing too crazy, just a defensive set this week, a defensive Calm set. Then we have my Taunt, Poison Spikes, Toxic Spikes Drapion set. So Taunt is basically here to stop Skarm setting up hazards. I don't want to be hazard stacked versus me. I can pursue the Gengar, I can knock off, you know, items. And yeah, Drapion's just quite nice in this matchup. Obviously I can taunt things like Miltank that wants to set up, I can taunt Gastrodon that wants to heal up on me. Drapion has quite a nice matchup versus this team in this game. And then we have Sylveon, who is a pretty standard set this week. A pretty standard physically defensive Sylveon. As I said, passing wishes to the rest of my team, to my breakers, is very much appreciated. And that's about it, so we'll jump into the match. So I lead off with Drapion, realizing that, you know, his team has no ways to suck up the Toxic Spikes unless it's like Gravity somehow gets activated and Gengar comes in and eats them up. But outside of Defog Skarm, like these 3 mons all get affected by Toxic Spike, so that's pretty great. I'm just going to taunt turn 1, just in case he wanted to get up his hazards, as I may not have defog on Scizor and he may want to capitalize on that, so I'm just going to taunt first turn as he tries to set up his Stealth Rocks, and now I'm going to set up those Toxic Spikes. So he goes out to his Volcarona, and you know, I have a designated switch in, as I explained earlier. I'm just going to go out to Arcanine. He sets up Equip Dance, and this is completely fine. As I said, I can take 2 HP grounds with ease. If you wanted to go for that, I can take that. So 2 plus 2 HP grounds. I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz here, and now I'm going to reveal the E-Speed and take out the Volcarona. So that was the biggest threat to my team gone turn 5. So that's very nice. In comes the Gengar, and I don't fear this thing Shadow Balling, as it won't do too much because of my spread. I can just comfortably send in Flare Blitz. If he was like an offensive variant, he would have died to Flare Blitz, and if he was a defensive variant like that, like just getting up a Flare Blitz and breaking the sub is important just to determine his set. I didn't want to hard into my Drapion in case he was a Will-O-Wisp variant, as that could have been quite an issue getting up. You know, it wouldn't have hindered my Drapion too much in the sense that, like, if he was a Will-O-Wisp, it was probably like Cold Bore or something, and Drapion wasn't going to necessarily kill with knockoff, but forcing him to actually go for Willow when Drapion is in on the Gengar is not a lot nicer than switching in and taking a Willow and then, you know, the Gengar being free to make a move next turn. So Arcanine Flare Blitzes onto the Gastrodon, as it takes 30%, which is quite decent, revealing that he's probably a specially defensive spread, maybe even a curse set. That would make sense if it was like max HP, max BDF, but that Flare Blitz did 30%, which is quite a lot to a Gastrodon, considering how fat it is, but it's got the poison on it, which is very nice, whittling it down severely. As I'm just going to fire off an HP Grass, I get a crit there, and that crit reveals that he is SPDF 100%. I can't get taken out by any hit from this Gastrodon, even an Earthquake or a Surf or an Earth Power, so I'm pretty safe to just fire off HP Grounds and pressure the Gastrodon. As he goes for the knockoff on my Sylveon, and yeah, that's fine. I mean, keeping Arcanine around is definitely worth it, as it does check the Scarm and the Gengar, as I mentioned before. So now I'm just going to start wishing up and firing off Hyper Voices when I can onto this Electros. So he now goes out into Skarmory, and I'm just going to switch right back out to my Drapion. If he wants to defog the rocks away, I can taunt him next turn and set them back up. But he actually goes for rocks here, and that's, you know, that's fine. I'm just going to knock here as he defogs. Yeah, interesting play. I think that may have been a misclick, but that's fine. I actually do have defog on my Scizor, so like even if he hadn't had defogged right there, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. I could have just defogged later, as I do, which you guys will see. But I just taunt him here, as just in case he wanted to try and set up his hazards again, as I can just set up my T-Spikes once more. And in comes the Miltank, so I'm going to taunt here in case he was a slower Miltank. But he's running a bit of speed on his Miltank. Or my Drapion is just, for some reason, I wasn't min speed, so I was creeping a min speed Miltank, so it could have been a speed tail there, I'm not sure. Either way, we get the taunt off. See, he's now at +1. Body Slam's doing a decent amount. I'm just going to phase him with Whirlwind, and in comes the Gengar, and this is fine. Like I figured he'd have Willow because he was like a sub Black Sludge set. Just removing the Black Sludge, I was pretty fine to tank the burn right there, because I can just start phasing things out. I'm not doing much damage with knockoff to anything on his team anyway, so yeah, the burn wasn't too much of a hindrance in that regard. He goes for the Body Slam here, as I'm just going to phase him out in case he did want to try and set up again. And now I'm just going to switch out to my Sylveon, just in case he wanted to start attacking me and go for the Earth Power, Earthquake or something like that. Keeping my Taunt Drapion around is pretty nice, as now that I've heal belled up with my Sylveon, it poses more of a threat with knockoff to the Gengar. It can kill from that range of health. He just starts cursing up, and you know, maybe if I was like a specially offensive Kyurem, or like a mixed attacking set, I'd be, you know, concerned by the fact that this SPDF Gastrodon is now at +1 defense. But I'm a choice banded Kyurem, and yeah, Kyurem doesn't care. So as you guys are going to see, Outrage clean takes out the +1 Gastrodon. And now what's coming in? Scarm. Scum comes in and takes 48 from the Outrage. That's a resisted hit. So now I'm just going to go right out into my Mega Scizor. So he gets up his rocks. Now I'm just going to defog on his spikes right here. And now I can just U-turn out into something like my Kyurem. So he opts to actually roost up here, I believe, which is he goes for the stealth rocks there, and that's fine. The fact is, at this point, Kyurem doesn't really need to switch out again because I can kill the Gengar, I can tank any hit, kill the Gengar, I can kill the Electros, and I can two-shot the Miltank, as you guys are going to see. So, yeah. Eel comes in and just dies to a Dragon Claw. Gengar comes in. Obviously, he could have Will-O-Wisp me there, but he was going for the damage as I had shown Heal Bell on my Sylveon. I can understand him just going for damage right there. He sets up a curse with Miltank, hoping that will save him from the Dragon Claw damage, but in conjunction with the fact that I'm banded and the poison on him, it's just too much for his Miltank to take, so we do secure the 6-0 there. Good game, Will. Alright guys, so next week we're going up against Abe from the MPL. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a fantastic battler, so that's going to be a good one to watch for sure. If you guys like the battle, feel free to leave a comment and a like down below. They really, it's really nice to see, you know, friends of mine enjoying my content. And if you guys aren't already subbed to my channel and you want to see more consistent high-level league matches, then feel free to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.